Thank you. And I'm really not here because I'm a former chair, and I'm not here because I'm on the board. So why am I here? Well, Chris Cucker and Dan Kunkel volunteered me to be one of the speakers this evening. Just as an aside, if any of you ever plan a meeting and you have the three of us together in the meeting, we get a lot done, but it's not necessarily anything about the topic of the meeting. But we actually wrote a mission statement for something in the middle of a meeting. It worked out really well. So that's number one reason why me, that I was volunteered. Two, Discover Lehigh Valley promotes all of Lehigh Valley's assets to visitors, to get them to come here, spend their money here, go home happy, and tell their friends about what they did here. So there's a lot to do here, and we want to make sure that we're a big part of that in promoting what's going on in the environment. We're a growing and sustainable industry. We bring about $2.1 billion in visitor spending into the valley each year, and we train people. Our industry trains more than 30%, people's first job. 30% of them are from the hospitality industry. That's pretty awesome that when you start thinking about the number of people who got their start in the hospitality industry. When I talk to legislators and elected officials, I always ask them how many of them started working in the hospitality industry, and it's pretty amazing how many of them actually did. It's a little bit more than 30% by my rough calculations. We get visitors out and about and spend money and get to see the entire Lehigh Valley. And our visitors don't use any public services when they're here. That's one of the good things. They're not usually going to jail. They're not usually needing social services. They're usually pretty good. So that's number two. Number three, I do have a passion for Lehigh Valley and what all we have to offer. And I didn't want to do these as slides because I wanted to show them, because there is paper involved in this. But I've been involved, and you should read up on some of the things that we've been involved in. I'm involved in the Lehigh Valley Greenways effort, and you should go visit that website. This is not public yet, but we were involved in the Livable Landscapes for Lehigh County initiative and the Livable Landscapes for Northampton County initiative. And also, we were involved in the return on environment analysis, which I'm going to talk a little bit about in a minute. And then last one that I was not involved in, but everyone here should read because it's extremely important, is the food economy report that was done a few years back. This is an excellent summary of what is happening in the food supply for Lehigh Valley. Fifth, my deep love, respect, and enthusiasm for nature comes from my scouting background. I'm an Eagle Scout, and my three brothers are Eagle Scouts, so we share that bond together. Six, I get around. You never know where I'm going to turn up in the valley, and so that's a pretty good thing. And the last thing that I'd like to think, because of our burgeoning farm-to-glass economy in the valley, is I drink local. So those are the reasons that I'm here in front of you. But we have challenges. Everything's not peachy keen and rosy. We have some challenges. The first thing is we live in Pennsylvania, where land use planning is so decentralized that it boggles the mind. And that's a challenge for all of us that we need to be addressing. Lehigh Valley is on a path of significant growth. Between 2010 and 2040, it's projected that the population is going to increase 25.6%. And the growth between 1980 and 2010 was 30%. So just put that in perspective. And there's expected to be a 31% increase in jobs over that same time period. Lehigh Valley is losing 2,000 acres of open space each year to development. Something we need to address. But there's a rosy side to this picture too. We have passionate and committed leaders. Some of them are here today, and I'm not going to call all of you out, but because I'll probably miss someone. But we have some incredible personal commitment to this sector. We have great organizations who partner well together to preserve and protect and sustain our environment. And without them working together, we would not nearly have accomplished all that we have today. We have an active and informed corporate and philanthropic community in the Valley. They're willing to learn and they're willing to get out and see for themselves what we have to offer and why it's important that we do what we do. We're working aggressively to preserve open space, and we're working together regionally as well to make that happen. We have amazing outdoor assets. We have 2 rivers. Not a lot of places have that. We have great parks systems, including a state park, and Rob does a great job at Jacobsburg. But we have a really great park system here in the Valley. We have excellent fishing, hunting, hiking, camping, and other outdoor recreation. We have incredible programming. I was talking to Dan earlier, who was telling me about the fact that they really need more program people because there's so much demand for environmental education. We're building and linking trails on a regular basis. And that whole interconnectedness is going to serve us well for the long run. And more importantly, those trails are being used. And that's extremely important to all of us who are in the process of helping to develop them. I could go on, and you could keep me here for a long time talking about all the Lehigh Valley has to offer, and I have to stop at some point. We are being discovered as a geotourism and as a destination for outdoor recreation and agritourism. As you heard, I think Jared's here. I think I saw Jared in the back. Megan McBride referred to us, to Easton's Farmers Market, as the oldest continuously operating outdoor market in the country. They just celebrated their 265th anniversary. That's how long that's been. That's going to be a tough record to beat. So that's extremely critical to what we're doing, and the things that they're doing in Easton with the farmers market really lends itself to what we're trying to talk about with agritourism and the outdoors and all the environment and sustainability components to this process today. Let me talk a little bit about our visitors, though, with some statistics that you may not be aware of. We've done some research on the people who visit Lehigh Valley, and people who come here don't know what to expect when they come here. But once they discover, excuse the pun, what's here, they're surprised and delighted and want to come back for more. And come back they do. 59% of the visitors that we surveyed had been here 4 or more times in the last 2 years. And 45% had been here 6 or more times in the last 2 years. That means they're not only having a great experience when they do come, but they're finding more and more things to do to bring them back. And we're really proud of that. 57% rated their visit 9 out of 10 or higher. The national average is 47% on that, so we're 10% above the national average. Agriculture, locally owned and operated restaurants, craft brews, distilleries, and wineries are growing in significance to our tourism efforts. And I want to give a shout out to one. The Farm to Glass experience in the Valley is growing substantially. And if you haven't been to 8 Oaks Distillery in New Tripoli, it's worth a visit. Their Farm to Glass is so local that when they give a tour and you walk out the back door of the distillery, they take you to the wheat field over there, the corn field over there, and the rye field over there. And they point to in the northwest direction and say, that's where our apples come from 10 miles down the road. So they literally are a farm to glass operation. Lehigh Valley has the highest percentage of spending on recreation when you compare it with all the other tourism regions in Pennsylvania. There are 11 other tourism regions in Pennsylvania. We're at 27%. The next closest is 20%. And it's not the Poconos, which I love to rub in. Because they like to think of themselves as Recreation Central, and not so much. Visitors tell us that they like being in the city and having a short drive to being out in the middle of the country, like we are today. Took me 10 minutes to get here. That's, you know, it's fabulous. Visitors recognize that and understand the importance of that, and it's something we need to maintain. So, return on environment. I'm just going to close with a couple of statistics on this. A couple of years ago, Wildlands Conservancy and the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission partnered to do a return on environment analysis. They discovered some interesting things. First, $796 million is spent on outdoor recreation in Lehigh Valley. And outdoor recreation activities support 9,600 jobs for our 2 counties. The fastest growing outdoor activities are kayaking, birding, wildlife watching, outdoor photography, running, bicycling, and other sports. And the popularity of these sports is replacing more traditional activities like hunting and fishing. A single-family home located within a quarter mile of protected space has a property value that's $14,600 greater on average than other properties in that community. Lehigh Valley tree cover removes 181,200 tons of carbon from the air each year, resulting in $3.6 million in annual health savings. You need to think about the health impact of the environment. Our woodlands provide $48 million per year in pollutant removal from the air, and 75% of people in Lehigh Valley enjoy outdoor recreation. Contact with nature reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and just makes you chill. I could go on, but I'm going to end with this. I don't know who said it, and I'm not smart enough to have created it, but there's no more intimate relationship than we have with the environment. It's the air we breathe, it's the water we drink, it's the food we eat. All serve to make us what we are. If we don't nurture the world around us, it won't nurture us.